legend, Archie Griffin. So to give him the round of applause. Archie Griffin, the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner. He will be with us here on the Buckeye Show tonight. And I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So, getting into things here. I wanted to talk about the situation that happened last night in the Dolphins-Bills game. I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching Thursday Night Football, and we know what's been going on with Tua Tagovailoa. We've seen it before. We've seen his concussions, and we've seen how it affects him and what happens with his arms and his fingers and how he's twitching there, and the optics of it. It looks bad. It obviously is very bad. It is serious. It's beyond serious what's going on. And it took me back to an example, because we're asking this question. This is the opinions are flying off the shelves about what would you be telling Tua. And my wife came right downstairs. She was putting our son Jack to bed, and it's crazy how early we got to get up as kids, right? To go give 6:30 a.m. wake-ups to go to school. But either way, so he's got to watch the highlights of the second half the next day. She comes back down, and this play happens, and it's such a big play. She's up to speed on football things, living with us two guys anyway. So I have to show her. I have to say, because she's a nurse, and she's interested in that kind of stuff too, the medical aspects of it. And she knew a little bit about Tua's history. And I said, is there any way, knowing what has happened already in his past, that that's not the first one, that you would ever let me back out on a football field? And she said 1,000,000% no. 1,000,000% no. And, I mean, you even have Coach Pierce out with the Vegas Raiders saying, I'd tell him to retire. Everybody is talking about this. But for some reason, you wonder if Tua can actually do that. Because I think about Ryan Shazier, one of the great linebackers I've ever seen, and a lot of us, right? One of the great linebackers we've ever seen wear the scarlet and gray. And what happened that night when the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing the Cincinnati Bengals, and how awful that looked, and how the man was nearly paralyzed. And how inspirational it was to see him try to get back to health, to try to just walk again. But the one thing that always fascinated me is how even after that, every time he would talk about it, it would be the drive would be to not just get back and walk. The drive was to get back to play football again. The only conclusion that I can come back to is that you're just wired a little bit differently, and you must accept that at some point. And there's such a passion and a desire to be out there playing the game that you love, that you really are throwing caution to the wind. I mean, it's the type of game that's so dangerous. And I know I'm not meaning to concern you or throw off the alarms, because it is a Friday night, but we got to be thinking about that every time our boys go out there and put the pads on, especially at a young age. And I know me and my wife, there was one point where my wife did not want to ever let our son Jack play the game of football. And we recently came around to a decision where if he wants to play, we decided we would let him, because we didn't want to stop someone, even a kid, even a child. And you don't have to agree with that opinion. Whatever you guys choose out there, it's probably the right thing. But it's just fascinating to me. And I worry about that guy, as I'm sure everybody does. What ultimately happens, I do not know. But I imagine as soon as he's back to a clean bill of health, whatever the long-term ramifications already are, you just don't know.
Alex Smith, too, right?
Oh, my God.
Like, almost lost his leg.
Being a fan of that team.
Yeah. Why would he go back to that team, Tim? Just retire. Go out there and play on that field?
He's accomplished so much at that point.
Oh,
Didn't win the Super Bowl. Was he part of a win with the Chiefs? He's already gone.
Oh, no. He was
Doesn't
gone.
matter.
No,
Doesn't matter.
He would have been Kaepernick's backup, I think, potentially in San Francisco when they played for one.
How can it matter?
Yeah.
When you're talking about all the years, the decades ahead of you that you can enjoy with your family. We love this game. But what's the cost when it comes to some of those things? Bodie, we got to flip things around here because of Archie coming up. You ready to hit it here?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Buckeye Show's fastest football picks in the world.
Sponsored by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
All right, how'd we do last week? I think I got Tyvus, right?
Yeah, you edged him out there, and on the season, though, you guys are both 9-8, so dead even through 2 weeks.
Oh,
here.
beautiful. Let's go. Let's rock and roll.
Week. Tonight, Timmy, number 20, Arizona is at number 14, Kansas State. Wildcats favored by 7. Tyvus is taking Arizona, though.
We're going to be with Tyvus here. We're going to take those Wildcats versus Wildcats.
Yeah,
We're going to take the Arizona Cats here.
All right, on to tomorrow. Number 4, Alabama is a 16-point favorite at Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Tyvus said roll Tide.
Yeah, you heard my take on that. I think Alabama kind of whips them.
Number 24, Boston College. They're ranked. Good for them. They're on the road at number 6, Missouri. The Tigers favored by 15.5. Tyvus said, give me BC.
I'm going to be right there with Tyvus as well. Boston College, the old Jeff Halfleys, the new Bill O'Briens.
All right, number 16, LSU is a 6-point favorite at South Carolina. Tyvus is taking the Tigers.
Give me the Gamecocks.
Number 9, Oregon, a 16-point favorite on the road against Oregon State in the Civil War, I believe, if I remember correctly there.
That's right.
Tyvus is taking the Ducks.
Ducks as well.
Unranked, I should say. Washington State is at Washington. The Huskies are favored by 5.5 in the Apple Cup. Tyvus is taking the home favorite.
I'm going to take Wazoo.
All right, Tim, our Father who art in heaven. Number 18, Notre Dame is a 10-point favorite on the road at Purdue.
Come on. Let me pick this one. Let me pick this one first. Let me pick this one first. So he had all of them. I'm going to go with the Irish, okay? The Irish.
Tyvus has said, boil her down. I said, that's very rude, Tyvus.
All right.
Last game. Big Ten game on the West Coast. Indiana's a 3-point favorite at UCLA.
Indiana's going to smoke them.
Smoke them.
Smoke them.
He said, we're the Buckeyes.
He's going to smoke them.
Buckeyes?
Yeah, man.
The Hoosiers.
Just watch it happen. Watch it happen. There you go. Fastest football picks locked. I do want to tell you guys about my buddies, my friends at Tri-State Men's Health, because there's this issue out there. We're talking about erectile dysfunction. Guys don't like to talk about it, right? Our friends at Tri-State Men's Health, they understand this. They're very cognizant of that, and they are here to help you. Look, it's a terrible condition. It can cause lots of stress in your relationship. It'll create anxiety. And you know what? This affects your partner. Not just you. It affects your partner as well. So think about that. Think about your significant other. Many men will suffer for years without seeking treatment when you got somebody like Tri-State Men's Health right here in our community that can help you. So go and see them. Check them out at tristatemenshealth.com. 2 lovely locations in Central Ohio. The one in Hilliard right off of Cemetery Road and 270 that I go for the low T treatment. They've got treatments that have success rates over 90%, and some will have you last an hour or more. You could be doing that the very next day after you see them. So check them out, tristatemenshealth.com. Tell them Timmy Hall sent you. Oh, man. One of the biggest guests we can possibly have. I'm dying to know what it was like dotting the I. The only 2-time Heisman champ in Ohio State history, Archie Griffin, joins us next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than the roomy new Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time, so you can take your travels even farther. Now through September 30th, you can lease a Camry LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Book your room now. Toyota. Let's go places.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. I remember seeing that CareSource heart around town and just knowing they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. And that means the world to so many children today. My name is Cardale Jones, and I was a CareSource kid.
CareSource, your Medicaid, your choice. Visit caresource.com/Medicaid.
It is time to square off against overpriced family dinners with Donato's all-new bakery crust pizza. A square-cut, thicker bakery-style crust with smoked provolone cheese and Donato's fresh toppings, plus your choice of marinara, ranch, or garlic sauce for dipping. The crust is thicker, but the deal is the kicker. Right now, you can get 2 one-topping bakery crust pizzas for just $19.99. It's a whole lot of pizza for not a lot of dough. Order with the app or at donatos.com.
Hey there, Buckeye fans. Coach Day here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Kroger app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales, and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too. And best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in-store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another great season. Kroger, fresh for everyone, and go Buckeyes.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. The BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 84 months, or save up to $2,300. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Join Skip Mossick, Paul Keels, and Jim Lachey for 2 whole hours of Scarlet and Gray goodness.
Thank you, football guy.
Buckeye Roundtable, Monday night at 6.
Presented by Burger King.
Your flagship home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, a bit of a breeze, but a great night for high school football. Temperatures in the upper 80s, falling through the 80s and upper 70s by 10 o'clock tonight. Overnight, down to the low 60s, clear skies and light winds. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, back to near 90 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Block O on the radio. This is the Buckeye Show.
Folks, we are back on the Buckeye Show, and let's just call this what it is. One of the coolest guests we can possibly have, the all-time leading rusher in school history, over 5,500 yards, the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner in the history of our sport, as you well know, and a great ambassador for all things Ohio State, Archie Griffin. Archie, it's so wonderful to talk to you. You've had quite the summer, and one that you deserve, I might say.
Oh, well, thank you, Tim. And it has been quite a summer, and in particular, the month of August was just absolutely phenomenal, especially when you consider the fact that we had to go to Pasadena, California for the trophy unveiling, and then a couple of weeks later, we did it right here at the Ohio Stadium, and that was really fabulous. And then to be able to dot the I, and that was just absolutely fantastic. Believe me, it's one of those things that you never, ever forget. Something that you'll always remember, and something that you'll always be proud of.
Archie, I reposted that video a couple weeks ago that the best damn band in the land took when they handed you the letter, and I had not seen that before, but I see that that's a great tradition of giving that letter, that request, that honor to the person that's going to be allowed to dot the I. And you just had so much humility. You were so humble. You were so gracious. That looked like that was one of the better moments in your life to receive that honor.
It really was. I mean, because certainly it was not expected. I certainly didn't expect to to have the opportunity to dot the I. I mean, it is a phenomenal honor when you think about the people that have done it. Coach Woody Hayes did it, Jack Nicklaus did it, and John and Ann Glenn did it. I mean, it's just a phenomenal honor to be asked to do that. And when he gave me the letter, I really didn't know, what it was all about. Then as I got to reading it, I said, is in the back of my mind, I said, are they going to ask me to dot the I? Are they going to ask me to dot the I? And then it came up that was exactly what happened. And I was really floored by it. I mean, I really was, because I certainly didn't expect it. It is a great honor, no question about it. As a matter of fact, at the game when we were getting ready to dot the I, when they were doing the script Ohio, I got so enamored in them doing the script Ohio, I almost forgot to go out on cue to go out to dot the I. But it was a fantastic experience, and do it in front of Buckeye Nation. I mean, that was really absolutely terrific.
You guys know that legendary voice. It's Archie Griffin, the famous running back here from Ohio State and a Columbus legend. Archie, did you practice the bow around the house in the week leading up to it?
I was trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do.
Yeah.
And, I said, well, am I going to get out there? Am I going to bow? What am I going to do? Am I going to tip my hat? Because I had my Sloopy hat on because I wanted to wear something that was in honor of the band, and I always loved Sloopy, and I thought that would be a good thing to wear as I dotted the I. But I had tried to figure that out, and I did it on cue right then when I was out there. I didn't practice it or anything, but I know that I knew that I was going to do something.
Archie, football, as you know, you have watched it change, and you have watched, forget about things off the field that are changing rapidly in college sports, just with the way that the sport is played. Because I look at the all-time record books, and what you've got there with over 5,500 yards, we had a couple of really good running backs. And let's not forget about Eddie George, who was one of the greats also in the mid-'90s here. But J.K. Dobbins is second in the record book behind you, and he's almost 1,100 yards back there. I don't know with the transfer portal and with you being eligible to go to the draft after 3 years, you have a great season, you might go. Do you think about things like that? You never struck me as the records guy because you're always going to talk about your teammates and your offensive line. That's what's great about you. But it seems to me like that one's going to be untouchable forever, maybe.
Well, I don't know about untouchable. Tim, the way I always look at it is, heck, if I did it, I know somebody else out there is going to do it. I mean, that's how I approach things like that. But, there are some things that can keep it from happening, because you mentioned some, the fact that, guys can go after 3 years into professional football, but the other thing, though, we got to remember is that now with NIL, guys probably should be staying because, you are getting compensated for your accomplishments on the field. So you would think that NIL would allow guys to stay. Because I'll tell you, there's no better years than your college years, no more fun years than your college years. And guys need to remember that and realize that you're not going to have any more fun years than you had in college, for sure. And I think with the NIL, and that being the case, I think that more guys will stay. And there will be more guys that have that opportunity to get that record.
Well, Archie, you were always the ultimate teammate, and we couldn't even create in a laboratory a better ambassador for Ohio State that cares about the community, that's always present around here. It's really just incredible for you to be immortalized now with the statue, the same one that's at the Rose Bowl right there in front of the shoe. Oh, and there's this. I was actually watching this just this week. My son and I will watch, some of these ESPN Plus shows, and it was the Eli thing, and where he goes around to college campuses, and he did a show with Tim Tebow. And to me, that maybe was the last or most recent guy that had a real good shot to grab that second Heisman, but he didn't do it. Threat level 0 right now for someone getting a second. But I had once heard that you would vote. I don't know if you voted for Tebow or if it was Johnny, but you would vote for a guy to possibly win a second Heisman if And as you should, right? If he really is the best player. That's what's great about you.
If I thought that they deserved it, if I thought that they were the best player for that particular year, I absolutely would vote for him. And I have done that. But I don't tell you who I vote for, but I have done that in the past. So there's no question about it. I believe you give a person his due when he deserves it.
That's amazing. Real quick, what can you tell us about this 2024 Ohio State football team and what you've seen and what you think they can do?
I'm very excited about this team. As you know, the expectation is really off the charts when you look at the talent on this team, and you know that they've got the possibility of going all the way. I mean, no question about it. But you just can't look at the talent and say that that's going to happen. You got to do it week by week. So the challenge for this team is to really make sure that they are prepared each and every week of this season, because there's always somebody out there that can knock you off. But I think this team will be ready. They know all the challenges ahead of them. I really love, in my opinion, the improvement from week 1 to week 2. I thought offensively that was truly outstanding. And I'm looking forward to certainly continue to improve. These guys are really good enough to win certainly a Big Ten championship, and in my opinion, a national championship. And I'm looking forward to that journey in doing that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how wonderful was it we got to talk to Archie Griffin. Sir, congratulations on all the honors that you received here recently. You deserved every one of them. Well,
thank you so much, Tim. Greatly appreciate that. And I greatly appreciate what the Ohio State University did in the month of August and honoring that 50th year. I didn't expect all that, but they went overboard, and I greatly appreciate that, me and my family. So I greatly appreciate that.
Just awesome. Awesome. Archie, can't wait to talk to you next time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Tim. Look forward to it.
Absolutely. What an honor. Wow. What a way to sort of skate into our first of 2 open weekends, right? My goodness. That was so cool. We here at the Buckeye Show, we are brought to you by our good friends at CareSource. As you know, whenever this one's done, give it 5-10 minutes. If you jumped in and you were right in the middle of the Archie Griffin interview, you're going to want to listen to that whole thing. So, of course, every Buckeye Show gets uploaded into every podcast platform. Everywhere you get your audio, you can search up the Buckeye Show. By weekends, we got high school football tonight. I will be hanging out at the Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest down at American Nitro in Grove City tomorrow. That event goes all day, 12 to 9. I'm going to be right there in the middle of that doing some judging. Oh, baby, I get to judge a wing smoking competition. It's going to be a good day. You guys can also come down and join me, too. And I think the last thing I'm going to do before we turn it over to some high school football is give away the final pair of tickets that we got. 2 tickets. I think you get 25 wings. It's like an $80 value. So you guys know the number. Caller number 9. Bo Man will hook you up, our fine producer, 614-821-9710. 821-9710. All right, we're going to send it to some high school football. We've got Kaufman at Pick North. Skip Mossick will get us ready for all the action next. Have a good weekend on The Fan.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This Saturday, choose chill and grab a Coors Light. Press play on Ohio State football and pause on everything else. We know there's nothing like game day in Columbus. So whether you're at the tailgate, the bar, or just watching from home, choose the one beer that's made for Ohio State game day. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics 2024. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, it's Bobby. If you've been thinking about changing the windows or doors in your home, it'd be dumb not to get a few estimates. It's a big purchase. All I'm saying is don't be double dumb and forget to include my friends at Pella Columbus, voted by Columbus as the leading, most trusted, and most likely to improve the look of your home. And with 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home, the Pella product is famous. And the local team here in town have been just as impressive. Check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, where you'll save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 24 Jeep Wranglers and Grand Cherokees. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
Cannot combine offers, not valid on previous sales. Offer expires 9/30/24.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.